and hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Maskne, we're going to talk about preventing it, the different masks that I suggest, and a bunch of different skincare at a low price point. Okay, as you can see, I'm makeup free. I thought that was probably appropriate for this video. I'm also going to show you a couple of the products, but probably just the one that I specifically want to show you how I use it because I've spoken about it to death. Probably for the entire 10 years I've been on YouTube, I've been talking about this product, but not everyone is aware of how exactly I use it. So let's kick off with masks number one. What is Maskne? For many of us, this has not been a thing, and then all of a sudden we're wearing masks all the time. And we're developing breakouts kind of around this area. I even had some breakouts up here, but we're going to talk about that because I think that was kind of symptomatic of something else. But you're wearing a mask all of the time, or at least most of the time if you're out of the house, and it's kind of a breeding ground all under here. People are getting them around their jaw, around their mouth, around their nose. Not fun. Some of you may be familiar with Manny. I'll come and sit down and he doesn't understand there's a camera. He thinks I'm talking to him. And so he just is like, I'll come and sit on your knee so it's easier for you to talk to me. So historically, when I do break out, because I am oily, I am breakout prone, less so now than I was like even 2 or 3 years ago. But I do tend to still have these kind of weird phases where I will break out. A 3-step, really, really simple skincare routine tends to clear up my skin. It's difficult to avoid masks and treatments and really wanting to attack those breakouts, but I know in my reasonable mind that 3 products will probably clear my skin up within a few days. So bear that in mind. I've never really suffered with acne, but breakouts. So I'll get kind of like those cystic breakouts underneath the skin. I don't get a lot of whiteheads. These are the spots that I deal with, not the same kind of acne that, say, my daughter deals with, which is a lot more... I mean, it's moderate acne, but to me and to her, it feels like more than moderate. So I completely am sensitive to that. This is not the same thing. I'm speaking more to those people who don't tend to suffer with a lot of breakouts and acne, but are currently suffering with them because of the masks. So a couple of cleansers that I would recommend, just basically these kind of thick cleansers that you take off with a flannel or a hot cloth of some kind. This one is from Aldi. It's the Lacura Vitamin C Hot Cloth Cleanser. I also really like one from Superdrug. I don't have it to show you right now, but I do enjoy that same kind of thick, creamy thing. Then I take it off with a hot cloth. And another one that I've been using is the Clean It Zero Cleansing Balm Original. I got this with a yes style code, FYI, so it was gifted. But I do really like this one as well. This is more of the kind of Clinique Take Off the Day balm texture. Very, very similar in terms of results. I just kind of alternate in terms of cleansers. So that's what I cleanse with, and then I will use some kind of glycolic toner. I have 2 that I'm using for this one as well. Both of these I've had multiple bottles of. This is my second, in fact, of this one. I haven't bought it for a couple of months, so I don't know that it's still available, but if it is, I would recommend. This is from Primark. It's the Daily Smoothing Tonic. This is slightly less percentage or a slightly less high ingredients of glycolic acid. This is 3.5% and this is 5%. So I find this is a little bit more gentle. I was kind of using this in the daytime at one point. Now I use them at nighttime. I don't use them in the daytime. We'll get to why. But I prefer this kind of exfoliator to a manual exfoliator, especially when my skin is breaking out or sensitive, because I just find that it's not, it doesn't feel as abrasive, it doesn't feel as irritating, but I still feel like I need that product to exfoliate and get rid of all of the dead skin and the grime and whatever. Fun fact, my friend Emma, she doesn't get along with the Glow Tonic necessarily. She doesn't see any like major benefits in her skin day to day. However, she did tell me that when she had a breakout, which she doesn't have all the time, she literally just dabbed it on the breakout and it got rid of it. So that's a thing. And then a moisturizer, the one that I am still using, the really, really basic, The Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors. Very, very simple moisturizer. It absorbs relatively quickly, but it is kind of heavy. It's a strange, weird hybrid. But it feels like a moisturizer, but even for oily skin, I don't think it's too much, is what I'm trying to say. So that is basically what I was using. And I was like, I've got this down. This is just, I needed a more simple skincare routine. I'm done. And then I had to wear the emergency mask. I realized that at least 50%, if not more, of the reason that I had really got a handle on my Maskne was the mask that I was wearing, and that is this. It is a silk mask. I wasn't convinced that this was doing all that much until I had that breakout. I mean, really looking back, it really did coincide with my skin completely clearing up from the random breakouts that I was getting from wearing a mask all the time. I went to have my nails done maybe a month and a half ago, and the ladies in there were talking about someone who'd come in with this silk mask and how it was better for your skin and whatever else. And I was like, right, okay. While I was still there, I ordered one on Etsy, and I have basically worn this consistently since. Almost exclusively, I have worn this mask. And I really, really think that this is the main reason that I've managed to get my Maskne under control, and I've managed to prevent the majority of the breakouts that maybe I would have had before. It is a more breathable material. I mean, it feels nice. It feels really nice on my face. I mean, the same way that people have silk pillowcases, it is supposed to be better for your skin. And I really do believe that this has made a big difference for my skin. However, if you're really not into this, and I get it, it does kind of look like you're wearing lingerie. I have another one that I really like as well. And this one, full disclosure, I know the girl that makes these. I'm friends with her mum, which makes me feel very old. This I really like for two reasons. Number one, she does them in different sizes, and this is, I think, a medium adult. And when I first got it, I thought I probably should have got a large, but since then, I've worn it more and thought, no, this is right. It fits perfectly. So that then fits perfectly along my jaw, and it doesn't move. So this is not rubbing, this is not kind of gaping, this is perfectly flush with my cheeks. This has like a bendy nose thing, but it's different to any of the other bendy nose things. What do we call them? Nose wires that I've used. It's kind of like flatter and more malleable, so you can get a different shape than you want, or than you can rather with the other ones. You can get a shape that you want. I can give myself a little bit more room to breathe, but it's still very, along here, I feel like it's very tight to my face. And so I don't feel that it's kind of rubbing all of the time, and I don't feel that it's creating that same cavern of bacteria that the other ones that I've had, the other kind of cottony ones, when they billow, have done, because it's so tight to my face. So I do really like that one. My preference is for sure the silk one. And because I really am now down to 2/1 on a daily basis, what I'm doing in terms of washing, because it's just not, I can't put them in the washing machine every day, I'm not doing washing every day, is when I go upstairs to do my face, I do my whole skincare at night time or in the afternoon, whenever it is that I'm home and I know I'm not going back out again, I wash my mask. Whatever mask I've worn that day, or whatever mask I'm gonna wear the next day, I'll wash it, like hand wash it, when I'm doing my skincare. So I know that I've got a perfectly fresh, clean, bacteria-free mask for the next day, because that in itself is also going to cause you breakouts. If you're wearing a mask that hasn't been washed, it's the same as like dirty brushes, which I know we're not all great at that, but if you've got breakouts and you're continuing to use the same brushes, then it's just perpetuating the cycle. So it's the same thing. And if you have struggled with that, like, well, I can't be washing these masks all the time, or maybe you've got a couple that you think are really, really good and you're having to rely on your emergency masks, wash them when you wash your face, and it's actually a really easy routine to get into. Moving on, I do also want to talk about sensitivity. So, weirdest thing. I am going to talk about spot treatments as well after, don't worry. Weirdest thing. I have never had particularly sensitive skin, and because I've been wearing a mask more frequently, and I'm now going out more because we've got like the school run, and then I'm popping into the shops, and I'm just generally out of my house more than I was even 2-3 weeks ago. I am now wearing a mask more in the week than I was previously. And I'm also wearing makeup more. I haven't worn a lot of makeup for the last 6 months, here and there for videos, but day to day, not really putting on makeup. So I'm gonna say it's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but wearing a mask all of the time, or wearing a mask a good amount of the time, can actually make your skin feel really, really sensitive. I was watching a video about this, and someone was talking about your moisture barrier, basically the whole top layer of your skin, because Ella, my daughter, was talking about how her like skin barrier is damaged because she's used these various things. This was a couple of months ago, because now she'll have kind of redness even when she hasn't used anything. And I don't know a tremendous amount about acne and sensitive skin, because that's not something that I've struggled with. I know more about kind of oil and kind of minor breakouts, how to try to slow down the early signs of aging, all of that stuff, the stuff that is relevant to me right now. But this was kind of a whole new world. And so she was telling me about that, and I thought when it came to these masks, maybe that's something to it, because I was finding that my skin was a lot more sensitive than usual. And so I watched this video and someone was talking about the moisture barrier, the layer on top of your skin, and it made complete sense. So this is kind of irritating your skin all of the time. It's just constant. It's like a clammy, you know, like if you get really sweaty, if you're wearing something and you're feeling really sweaty, and you can kind of get, like it can rub, or even, I suppose it's similar to in the summertime when you're wearing shorts or a dress and your thighs are rubbing together. It's like, it's the heat, it's the sweatiness, because that's not really a thing quite so much in the winter. It's just everything comes together to create not such a nice atmosphere, and then you get kind of chapped and sore. And it's a similar thing when you're kind of constantly, I suppose it is almost like you're chapping your face. So my skin was much more sensitive than I'd ever known it before. Also strange, because I'm wearing it like this, my breath is also coming up here. Those of you that wear glasses will know about this because your glasses steam up. But it's also kind of going onto my forehead. So I was wearing makeup a couple of weeks ago. I had makeup 2 days in a row. I had to wear makeup. And I would say halfway through the second day, my skin was sore. It felt like I had on something that was irritating my skin. And 2 different days, 2 completely different faces of makeup. So it's not even like it's one particular product. I took off my makeup and I had kind of like a rash on my forehead and various other little places. It wasn't a breakout as I'd ever known it, but more rash-like. And the one on my forehead lasted for a few days. And I came to the conclusion that this was sensitivity. Now, if I continue to use the same products that I've used previously, when my skin is not sensitive at all, I could then be exacerbating that problem. I could be thinking, well, I need to use all of these products that would get rid of my breakouts normally, but if my skin is very, very sensitive, then it could actually make it worse. And I just wanted to put that out there, that maybe if you are experiencing this, your skin is just more sensitive than usual, and so your skincare is behaving differently because it's not now the correct skincare for the skin that you have at the moment. Now, this is very much like dermatologist territory and armchair expert-y kind of advice, because I don't know enough about that to kind of give you, this is what you should do. But I wanted to put it out there. If you think that you are suffering from that, definitely do some more research, watch the people that know what they're talking about. I just want to share with you kind of my experience, some products that I think really work. But for that, I'm going to be looking more into that because I think that's something that I'm suffering with, and I just wanted to put it out there for those of you that maybe hadn't heard about it, because I hadn't either. With that in mind, I did a couple of things. Number one, I do always use, with these cleansers, I do always use a flannel. I prefer to use a flannel as hot as I can have it usually, but now a little bit less because I think that that's not great when I'm suffering with this weird sensitivity. So just kind of like warm water, and then I will very, very gently, around in circles, not as much as I used to, just very, very gently get rid of the cleanser from my face. And I'm kind of slightly polishing. I'm not using this quite as often as I was because I'm thinking, well, maybe that can cause the sensitivity, although there's no alcohol in this. I'm just, again, trying to be mindful that if my skin is behaving a little bit more differently than usual, I think I maybe just need to pair back to like just the cleanser, just the moisturizer. So that's what I'm doing right now. Once my skin isn't feeling quite so sensitive, I'll go back to the 3. But for now, just the cleanser and the moisturizer. I wouldn't recommend that you use a muslin cloth because that is a little bit more intense. My daughter just bought I just bought for her birthday, the Liz Earle Cleanse and Polish. We went on her birthday and got some more. She also got the Clinique dramatically different moisturizer, and my husband's incredibly jealous because that's his favourite moisturizer. I mean, what 15-year-old's got Clinique moisturizer? She got the Liz Earle Cleanse and Polish, and it came with this. And I was saying to her, because she's got acne, just be careful because it is abrasive. And so I wouldn't be using something like this right now for the same reason that I am avoiding the glycolic acids, because I just think my skin needs a bit of a break. 2 other things that I have been introducing alongside the moisturizer are these. I had no idea of the properties of this. This is the glycerin and rosewater toning and moisturizing thing, tonic, from Boots. So I bought this again for Ella because I'd watched a video and they said, oh, this is really, really great for acne. I'm like, right, okay, I'll buy that. I mentioned it in a haul. So many of you said this is like amazing, amazing stuff. I looked into it. It's like a wonder product, so I've bought some for myself. I didn't know that this was a thing. It's supposed to be super hydrating. It's supposed to be great for anti-aging. It's supposed to be good for breakouts. It's like the product for everyone. And so I'm kind of considering this to be a very, very similar product to the Essence that I fell in love with, that Misha Essence that I got from YesStyle, that you put it on before you moisturizer, and it's just like an extra hydrating layer. And I put it on and I was like, this is like the same thing. This feels like the same product. How have I never heard of this? And it's so inexpensive. So I've been using that in place of this. Now, how long that's going to last for, because I think I'm going to miss my glycolic acid toner, I don't know. But I think I'm probably going to continue to use this after that in front of my moisturizer for a really long time, because I'm seeing a really big difference in how hydrated my skin feels. And it feels amazing when I put it on anyway, but I'm thinking I might put it like in a spray bottle for daytime. Is that a thing? A little spray during the day, kind of like top up my levels, top up my hydration. I don't know, but I'm completely converted. Love. And the other thing is the Simple Hydrating Booster. I've had a couple of these. You can put them in your moisturizer, you can put them on underneath. It's a similar kind of idea in that you are putting in a little bit more hydration before you do your moisturizer. I think my skin right now is relatively dehydrated. It's probably because I'm not drinking enough water as well. Obviously we've got the change in seasons, and then I'm wearing the mask. So anything that I can do to try and get my skin back to kind of like a healthy, regular level, so I can go back to my normal skincare routine, I will do. Finally, I know you've been waiting for this. It's my holy grail. Funnily enough, someone mentioned this to me on Instagram direct messages the other day. They said that they'd bought this for their boyfriend and they couldn't believe how quickly they saw a difference. This is not going to be for everyone. This has got salicylic acid in it. If your skin and breakouts do not respond to salicylic acid, then it's probably a waste of time. Mine does. It's all, some people it's like lactic acid. Sometimes it's the benzoperoxide. Is that the right thing that I'm saying? Again, noob. But salicylic acid has always been my jam. This has been like if I have a cleanser, a moisturizer, anything, it will definitely help my breakouts. It doesn't so much help Ella's breakouts, which is when I realized, oh, people are different. But I do want to put it out there if you think it's for you. This I love, and I'm going to show you how I use it. I've got a bump right now, just there, and I will put this on that bump. I am using the viewfinder, so I'm missing it completely. I'm not crazy. I also always have like a little bit of something here. And I will leave it like that for quite a while, / hours, overnight. If you can do it in the daytime, all the better, because overnight, how long is this going to stay on your face before you move? Probably not very long. But this is my spot treatment. This is the one. I've tried other things and nothing is as effective for me as the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturiser for spots. Now, I have had other people tell me that they misunderstood my recommendation. They've put this all over their face. This would be incredibly dehydrating, even if you've got oily skin. I wouldn't recommend this as a moisturiser, but as a spot treatment, very, very effective. Couple more points to end on. Number one, if you are breaking out from your mask and it's really not something that you've ever suffered with before, like you really never get breakouts, and you're not like oily, this is all craziness, then it could be that your washing powder is something that you're allergic to. It could be something that, your body can deal with it, but having it up against your face all day long is just not working for you. Could also be that you're wearing makeup underneath your mask and that is something that your skin is not reacting well to. If you can avoid wearing makeup, please. That is like the key. If you can't, may I suggest La Roche-Posay do an Effaclar range, which I love. A little bit expensive. I don't have it all of the time because you don't get a tremendous amount for your money, but it is really, really effective. And they do a regular kind of oil-free moisturiser that you can use morning and night. But they also do a tinted version of their Effaclar Duo. I will really try to link these things for you below because I know it's like a lot of stuff to talk about. But they do this Effaclar Duo tinted version that's so nice. It's not a lot of coverage, but it's mostly skincare, so it's a really nice compromise. But it is really, really effective in terms of getting rid of breakouts, clearing your skin, and trying to kind of deal with the oil. And that is it. I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about. I've had this on my list for months to make. And I'm actually really glad that I waited, because I've now had the experience of, okay, definitely the mask makes a difference. The glycerin and rose water I now can recommend to you. A few things like the sensitivity, that's kind of cropped up, meant to wait, because now I had more to share anyway. But this is very much kind of like feeling our way at the moment. If you have had any kind of success with any particular products, any routine, if you'd like to recommend someone specific, a specific video that you've watched that really helped you, please do. Back in the day, you used to be able to reply to, I mean, this is so long ago, you used to be able to reply to a YouTube video with another video, and that could be, like you could send us a link to a video of someone else. I don't know if you can still do that, but if you want to leave a link of somebody else's, please feel free. It's just like such a weird situation at the moment, something that a lot of people have never even suffered with before, and so the more information the better. But this is the stuff that I'm doing. These are the things that I found to work, and yeah, hopefully this has been helpful. I will leave the links to those 2 masks. I will just say the silk mask that I got, I really would recommend that you hand wash it, because the first time I hand washed it, it ran. It was not colour fast. Since then it's been fine, but there was a lot of blue that came off in the water when I did. So if that had gone in with my clothes, definitely would have ruined some stuff. But yeah. Also, the one that I got from Lissy on Etsy, you can actually put filters in there as well. So if that is your bag, I will link them below. Yeah, apparently can't end the video. So I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.